CYBERSOUP presents.
Nature is absolutely beautiful. There are so many amazing creatures living on this planet, and we're constantly finding new ones. But there's a few questionable ones that are so ugly, scary, and vomit-inducing that they are better left avoided. This is a list of the nastiest bugs ever discovered. All insects on this list will be listed from least to most nasty.
Good.
Now let's begin. First off, we have the Brazilian tree hopper. First thing you'll notice is it has a large, lumpy structure coming out of its head, which is believed to deter predators. They pierce plant stems with their beaks and feed upon sap. The tree hopper tends to mind its own business. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. You have no need to worry. This breed of tree hopper lives a very solitary life, hopping branch to branch, acting as peaceful as possible. You should feel bad because, as ugly as they are, they're actually really nice bugs.
Hello?
But aside from its deformed headgear, it's not horribly nasty, so let's move on. Number 9. Whip spiders. These armored arachnids are the things of nightmares, resembling the alien bugs from Starship Troopers. Ooh, yikes. They live worldwide in tropical and subtropical regions. They can be hard to find, and little is known about this ancient order of arachnid. The mothers will keep their cute young on their backs and only come out at night. And as horrifying as this bug looks, it's really harmless. On rare occasions they will bite, but usually will just give a pinch using their long claws called pedipalps, which leave thorn-like injuries. So unless you're pestering them, have no fear.
Don't touch me. I don't want you to touch me. I said don't touch me.
Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. If you live in a cave, you'll need to move out, or don't mess with these spiders and they won't mess with you. Number 8. Mosquitoes. You're probably thinking, what? Mosquitoes? I see these things all the time and there's nothing gross about them. That's because these things have taken over the earth and we're so used to seeing them that we forget how horrible they really are. I mean, most of us are scared of needles, right? No! Well, these things are literally flying syringes. Flying needles that spread like disease. Flying clouds of thousands at a time, have heat vision, and crave blood. Yeah, that's not scary at all.
Right.
The females lay their eggs in stagnant water and near the water's edge. Mosquitoes are the worst. Not only do they ruin camping trips, but their dirty saliva leaves irritating, itchy bumps, and worst of all, they kill more people than any other insect or animal by spreading numerous deadly diseases, such as West Nile, malaria, Zika, yellow fever, and many, many more. This is one bug you should never feel bad for and should be exterminated. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. First, get rid of any breeding areas for mosquitoes. Here's a picture of a few common areas around the house. Wear netting and spray on DEET wherever you interact with mosquitoes. There's also many predators that feed on mosquitoes, such as bats, certain breeds of fish, dragonflies, and many reptiles. So you could always put up some bat houses in your yard to help kill them off. Or just raise an animal army to kill all of the mosquitoes. Number 7. Giant water bug. These massive beetles are nicknamed toe biters for good reason. Usually beetle type insects aren't very gross, but this one is an exception. It looks like a cross between a praying mantis and a cockroach. Giant water bugs usually hang out in ponds, but can fly. They are toxic and inject the toxin when they bite. The giant water bugs hunt crustaceans, fish, frogs, and occasionally have a taste of human feet. They breathe with their butts, and will also emit a foul odor from their butts if threatened. But that's not even the nastiest thing about these bugs. It's the fact that they carry disgusting eggs on their back. Ugh! I know it's their babies, but those slimy egg sacs just look so gross. But if these bugs don't gross you out, then you should try eating them, as they are considered a delicacy in many Asian cultures. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug? Easy, wear flippers next time you decide to go pond jumping. Or get out the frying pan, a little bit of oil, a little bit of garlic, bada boom bada bing, ooh, you got a tasty treat. Moving on, number 6. Giant Asian Hornet. Many of us have encountered hornets, but only a few unlucky ones get to encounter the giant Asian hornet. They look very similar to common hornets that are seen worldwide, except they only live in Eastern Asia. They are also much larger, more poisonous, more aggressive, and spread like wildfire. These hornets are typically 4 to 5 centimeters long and pack a stinger up to 10 millimeters long. They build massive nests that can include several hundred hornets. Many people complain about honeybees and being stung being incredibly painful. Ow! Well, giant Asian hornets kill and eat honeybees and are known to clear out whole colonies. Even worse, their sting is much more painful and venomous. Many people have died after being stung multiple times. These nasty bugs will attack people for no apparent reason and kill 30 to 50 people every year. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug? Thankfully, the Chinese government is funding programs to exterminate these pests, as well as improve medical treatments. If you encounter giant Asian hornets, it's best to stay as far away as possible. But just in case, invest in a bee suit. And maybe a flamethrower too. And don't forget backup, just to be safe.
Run for your life! I'll cover you! I must warn the others.
5. Number 5. The ℂℍ𝔸𝔃𝕃𝔼, or tongue isopod. While this one is not technically an insect, it certainly looks like one. It is a type of isopod just like the roly-poly bugs in your backyard, except much scarier and nasty. Sure, these water critters are kinda cute, except for the fact that they have razor-sharp claws and crave blood, as well as something much worse. Their favorite spot to hang out is on tongues. Thankfully, just fish tongues. However, it's still horrifying. Once they clamp on, it is nearly impossible for the fish to get rid of them. The tongue isopods will continue to feed until the fish has barely any tongue left. The males will typically just hang out in the gills of the fish and will mate in the fish's mouth as long as there is a female. If there's no female present, then one of the males can develop into a female. These tongue bugs are clearly disgusting and have even had a movie that was inspired by them called The Bay. Check it out. It's not that good. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug? Well, they aren't too harmful to humans, but you can start a fundraiser to raise enough money to just cement over the entire ocean, or just avoid the ocean altogether and stop. Just stop eating tuna. There have been cases of people finding tongue isopods in their tuna cans. Ugh. Number 4. Ribbon worm. Oh, that's weird. It's just a silly worm. I must have added this one in on accident. Let me just skip ahead here and... What the? This horrific monster is the ribbon worm, and that disgusting white tube it shot out is called its proboscis. As innocent as it may look, this is how it traps and feeds on its prey. The mucus from its white stem is full of neurotoxins, so once its victim is paralyzed, the ribbon worm will then pull it into its mouth to devour. There are many different types of ribbon worms which live worldwide. Majority live in water environments and burrow under the dirt. Most are less than 8 inches long, although the biggest has been estimated at 177 feet. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. Avoid the water and you should be okay. If you encounter one, don't touch it because...
Ew.
Oh, that's nasty.
Three. Australian web spider. Let's face the facts here, all spiders are nasty, and most people are scared of even the smallest arachnids. However, the Australian funnel web spider is one of the worst and most nightmare-inducing. They like to hide and will build their funnel webs in sheltered habitats, and sometimes even shoes. Let's just say they're easily one of the most dangerous spiders, if not the most, because the nastiest thing about these spiders is their bite. They have massive fangs that are powerful enough to penetrate through your fingernail and soft shoes. They are incredibly aggressive and very quick, and when they bite, they hold on tight and bite repeatedly, making the wound much harder to treat. The funnel web spider's bite is very painful and will kill unless an antivenom is given. Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. Don't live in Australia. Number 2. ℂℍ𝔸𝔃𝔼𝔾𝔼 commonly known as the house centipede. This one's personal, as I'm very scared of house centipedes. They are very fast, love dark damp places like basements, as they are famous for infesting houses. No room in your home is off limits, but they tend to prefer rooms with more moisture and heat like bathrooms and basements. These bugs are smart and will hunt strategically. For example, when they hunt wasps, they retreat after applying the venom to give it time to take effect. They will eat spiders, bed bugs, termites, cockroaches, silverfish, ants, and other household arthropods. These things can get so big that they have health bars. They can have up to 15 legs, which are long and hair-like, and can administer venom from their modified legs. If they are ever trapped, they can detach legs to get away. They will lay eggs like crazy and can lay over 100 eggs at a time. This nasty bug is a weird one, and its actions are often hard to predict. They have been observed darting towards people for unknown reasons. Ooh, that's scary! Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. Buy a dehumidifier for every room of your house so the house centipede is less likely to live with you. And if you ever encounter one, gather up everyone in the house, go a safe distance away, and burn that sucker down. Just do it. It's not worth the risk that there's more house centipedes alive.
I did it! I saved my family. Yeah.
Before we get to the number 1 spot, let's look at a few nasty bugs that didn't quite make the cut. Check out these honorable mentions. For our number 1 spot, we have the botfly. Oh joy! And let's just say, you're welcome, because including it in today's video required me to research it, and giving it a Google will provide me with nightmares for years to come. On the surface, the botfly looks like a simple poo-loving housefly. However, don't be fooled, for this spawn of Satan has a horrific secret. It will lay its eggs on blades of grass with the intention that mammals will ingest the grass and the eggs will hatch inside them to eat the mammals from the inside out. Warning, you are about to see infested horse insides. And here we go.
No! God! No! God, please, no! No!
The megas have very sharp hooks so that they can hold themselves in place, often inside digestive tracts, and when they reach full size, they just let go and get pooped out. Pretty rough, but it gets worse. much worse. You might not eat grass, but unfortunately, human botflies exist. The females will capture mosquitoes or other small insects and attach their eggs to their bodies. She will then release them. Next, that same mosquito will land on human skin. The eggs can sense the warmth of the human skin, hatch and drop onto the skin and burrow underneath. And once these things grip on, they're really hard to pull off. So even if you see one, it's very likely that you won't get it in time. If you're one of the unlucky ones, then when the botfly eggs hatch inside you, they'll begin to burrow through your body while growing. To reach full size can take the botfly maggots around 8 weeks, after which they will push out of your skin, drop off onto the ground, and grow into flying adults ready to infect someone else. Native to Central America and southeastern Mexico, although some cases have been reported as far as Europe. Plenty of people have discovered botflies living in their skin, and surprisingly, for how big they are, they really don't cause that much damage to the human body. However, I wouldn't recommend letting them live inside you because that's just really gross. Now, I've been generous by showing the least disturbing pictures I could find, but if you're brave and want your week ruined, go ahead and Google botflies. I dare ya. No! Tips for dealing with this nasty bug. Well, thankfully, we live in the age of technology, and we have the internet, so just stock up on food, grab some bug spray and swatters, board up your doors, watch tons of CYBERSOUP, and never ever leave your house again. Thanks for watching today's video, friends. Hope you had as much fun as I did. Please comment below and share your own horrific bug stories, because we've all had them. Until next time, this has been CYBERSOUP. Hungry for more?